Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What Do You Say Anime. I am your host, Peter. And on today's episode, myself, Pat, and Miles will be previewing the absolutely stacked spring 2022 season of anime. I just want to give a forewarning, though, for people who are seasonal watchers that if you do not have a Crunchyroll membership account, you might want to look into it because they are changing the format on how they view seasonals. You can get the first 3 episodes for free if you are not a member. After that, there's no ad viewing ways of watching anime anymore on Crunchyroll unless you have a premium
Would
subscription.
have
So
guessed that a monopoly would have been bad for the viewers.
who would have
It's
thunk
great.
it? But I definitely want to get that warning out in case people were unaware. But on today's episode, we'll be previewing 12 new shows, a few sequels. Normally we skip sequels, but I think just because of how stacked the season is with sequels, that we're gonna save it towards the end. But if you are looking for a specific show, in the description below, there's gonna be timestamps so you can just jump forward to whatever show that you want to hear us talk about. But yeah, we're gonna be mostly talking about in the beginning the newer shows that are airing. So, gentlemen, I think we should jump right into our first show. I'm absolutely jacked for it. It's Spy Family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a little synopsis for the people who don't know what Spy Family is, in case you were living under a rock. Twilight
It's
or
a-
Lord Forger quickly adopts the.
Spy X family, right?
Whoa,
Yeah.
Well, it's like my my favorite anime, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
I figure,
man.
I just wanted to clarify.
All right, you guys can. Damn it, Pat. Okay, for the agent known as Twilight, no order is too tall for the sake of peace. Operating as a master spy, Twilight works tirelessly to prevent extremists from sparking war and negotiating with the country Astana. For the latest mission, he must investigate Austrian politician Donovan Desmond by infiltrating his son's school, the prestigious Eden Academy. Thus, the agent faces the most difficult task of his career: get married, have a child, and play family. The synopsis is super long, so I'm gonna stop there. But the style of the show is the main character is a spy. The wife that he ends up marrying is an assassin, and the child Anya is a mind reader. I am fully caught up on the manga. I am absolutely jacked for Spy Family. It is one of my favorite manga of all time. It's kind of Mob Psycho-esque in the terms of the storytelling, where it's comedic for the most part, but it does have those serious storylines underneath, and just like a great family dynamic of a show that we don't normally get a lot in anime. I think when we think of like family, we think of like, I don't know, sweetness and lightning, but Spy Family takes a unique twist on the family dynamic, along with adding espionage and gadgets and gizmos, and hopefully later you get to see one of the best tournament arcs in anime history. Yes, that's right. Spy Family has a tournament arc. It wouldn't be shonen without a tournament arc. Gentlemen, I want to get your thoughts on Spy Family. Miles, I know you came in blind on this, so I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, so, I thought I knew what Spy Family was about, and then I didn't think I knew what Spy Family was about again, but then now you've given me that wonderful synopsis, so I know what Spy Family is about. I've been excited for Spy Family for a while, but I've been trying to go in pretty blind on this. We all know that my general role in the podcast is I don't watch anime or read manga or like weeb culture. So, but this is something that is sort of like caught my look. It sort of feels like it has that like fun, tongue-in-cheek dynamic to it, and it's really something that I'm looking forward to. I think the most exciting thing is it finally explains how pink hair genetics work in anime, where if you have a blonde haired spouse and a black haired spouse, you get a pink haired child that can read minds. So, um, I'm pretty excited for it. All of the art and previews I've seen for it have seemed pretty cool. I think like the worst this will be for me is like a 7, sort of like a Comey type of thing, where
Sure.
the humor just doesn't hit, but it's still occasionally funny and it's very well polished and the characters are good and that sort of deal. So, low floor, high ceiling for this for me personally. I'm pretty excited about it.
And just
Or
for
high floor, high ceiling.
yeah,
Whatever.
just for reference, the child is adopted, so that's in case you were
No, okay.
They are.
Honestly,
Yeah.
minimum score of a 1 now.
Pat, what are your thoughts on Spy Family?
What I like is the fact that Anya, being a mind reader, is able to know what's going on. Like, so she knows that he's an she's an assassin and he's a spy, and so her reaction faces, I've seen all of those all over the internet already for the past few years that it's been publishing as a manga. So I'm really excited to see this get animated. I've never read it. I've never, because I figured it would get an anime someday, so I could just watch it instead. I think it'll translate well into an anime as well. Like some manga might not. I think this one pretty simple. Like, what could go wrong? And I say that pretty confidently because it's Wit Studio and Cloverworks. We're working on this, from my understanding at
Yep.
least, and pretty good studios to have, especially for a show of this style. I feel like I could see the comedy not necessarily hitting for most people, but I feel like there's going to be a good mix of like physical comedy with like what I was talking about with Anya's faces
Yep.
and stuff. Then also the misunderstandings and the just ridiculous scenarios that Kaguya might have, right? Something like
Yeah.
that, where it's a good balance of those types of jokes. I remember when I first heard the premise, I wanted it to be that they had to learn how to be like a real family or whatever, but I thought it was that they were like all planted and they were aware of each other, or at least that the parents were like aware that the one was the assassin, one was the spy. I thought that might have been a bit more interesting of a take than the way it is now, but at the same time, and make it more believable too, because like
It's Mr. and Mrs. Smith though, which is a fun movie. I don't know if I'm showing my boomer.
No,
I don't.
it's kind of like that because like the dynamic is like Anya knows everything.
Right.
But,
Okay, yeah.
but she thinks it's like super cool that her adoptive dad is a spy and super cool that her adopted mom is an assassin. So she plays along with it, and like she's aware of like the mission. So she like self inserts herself as a character in the mission because the role that she plays is to infiltrate the school.
Okay.
But like that's not like what Lloyd was trying to do with her, and it's just hijinks because like Anya knows what's going on. It's
Right.
The PV you see where like they hold hands, and then Yor is just like, the last time I hugged him, I broke 2 of his ribs, and now he's like, "What? You're gonna hold my hand?" And I just mind read that. So it's kind of like that type of comedy. That's why I kind of compared it to Mob Psycho, where like it's jokes in terms of, and Pat, you said it too, the physical jokes of like Anya's faces, along with like I think like the dialogue in the manga is already hilarious. So you get a nice balance between the two.
Yeah, I could see it being something that I'm gonna probably watch it no matter what. Like this will be one of the few shows that makes the like definitely watching category for me, just because I can't see it being that bad.
Holy
Really,
shit, Wit is a heavy hitting studio.
Yeah,
huh?
they're massive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're an
Oh
S tier
my God.
studio. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I was like looking, especially recently, Vivi, Ranking of Kings, Vinland Saga, all of the Attack on Titan seasons people like.
Yeah, they're pretty nuts. And that's why I'm excited for it too, because like it I think you clarified yourself, Miles, as saying like low floor, high ceiling. I think it's pretty high floor as well for me. I don't see this being. I could not see, unless they pull like a Way of the House Husband and like make it not an anime.
Yeah.
Then or essentially not an anime. Then it could be bad. But like even I don't know. The
My
PV is already
4
shown that
feels
it's
like
not
it's like
that.
a 7, right? Like that. Is that
Yeah.
what you're thinking? Yeah.
I'm thinking too, because like I can't see myself giving it less than a 7 just out of enjoyment, right? Like, and yeah, I don't know if it actually hits with the heavier scenes, then I could see it being a lot higher too. But yeah,
Have you guys watched the PV yet at all?
yes, I did. It's very funny.
Like the ED and the OP, I think like the soundtrack of this show is just going to be bonkers. It sounds so good. It definitely sets the mood. It's a really unique, fun way of doing shonen. It's not just like the battle style that we see that are getting adapted from Shonen Jump, where this is a very unique story that's in Shonen Jump that you normally don't see, and just the success skyrocketed because I think it touches so many different points where I think you will find enjoyment if you were like a teenager, and someone like us, I think you can find like a lot of enjoyment as an adult, and like
It's a market deficiency in manga for
100%.
honestly, like adult comedy, basically.
And I think you see that when it's executed well, because Spy Family without an anime is at 13 million copies sold, which is just in its astronomical number. Like, for reference, Jujutsu Kaisen had 1 million before the anime. Like, this has 13 million, and it's a Shonen Jump property. So just to me, this just has like success written all over it. I think this is gonna be a major franchise going forward, depending on how they want to play it. I don't know if it's gonna be long running. I think you could easily make this a long running story if you wanted to, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But this is one of the most like look forward to anime I've had in such a long time. It's such a breath of fresh air in the anime scene. And I think a lot of people are going to be caught off guard with how much they like this. Gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts on Spy Family before we move on?
Nope, just excited to watch it.
I got nothing either. Yeah, it should be the highlight of the season, I think, for me.
Me too. And I'm a little side note here that I'm gonna add for our preview. Spy Family will be airing Saturdays on Crunchyroll. Next up, we got Shikimori Is Not Just a Cutie. The synopsis: Shikimori seems like the perfect girlfriend. Cute, fun to be around, sweet when she wants to be, but she has a cool dark side that comes out under the right circumstances. Her boyfriend Izumi loves to be around it when that happens. So Shikimori is a rom-com. It's kind of set where instead of the man is the like knight in shining armor coming to save the damsel in distress type of thing, that's Shikimori's role. So the boyfriend is very passive, very shy. Shikimori is very blunt at certain points, especially when it comes to protecting her boyfriend. So Haz is, I know, I give a shout out to Haz. He is absolutely jacked for Shikimori. I think this is a pretty popular franchise. I'm looking forward to it just because, I'm a romance snob. But gentlemen, I want to get your thoughts on Shikimori Is Not Just a Cutie.
Sure. So, like, would you? Is this like a reconstruction of the yandere trope? Like, are we trying to like portray that positively? Like, she's very potentially violently so protective of her boyfriend. Is that the bit?
You know me and the word construction, so I'm gonna pass that over to Pat.
Well, I don't know enough about the show to be honest with you. But I would say that from the PV I watched, it's more that she is like, she randomly has that like put the hand against the wall, like pushes you, like that kind of.
Okay. So she's
the alpha, or she's the top. She's the top of the relationship.
The top of it.
Sorry, that's probably very rude. Never mind. We shouldn't use terms like that. But yeah, that's like the idea is that she's
okay. Is her boyfriend this guy with the sweater vest on?
Yeah,
I know, right?
He looks authoritative one. Okay. Yeah, I suppose I'll give this a try because people seem really hyped about it. However, I doubt it's a me show.
Yeah. No doubt.
So, I mean, we'll find out, but I'm not particularly hyped about it. What I will say is the character design looks nice. So,
yeah. So for me, I feel like this is a show like a few years ago I would have eaten it up, but now I've just gotten so old and jaded that I can't get excited for stuff like this anymore, or as much as I used to at least.
You're like 23 or something.
I turned 24 in a few days, actually.
You know what? Never mind. Perfectly acceptable then for you to be.
I am old and jaded. Okay. But yeah, the thing that also makes me it's weird because I'm a little nervous for the show is the fact that it's done by Doga Kobo.
Yeah.
So I personally have a soft spot for the studio because of Plastic Memories was a really, really good show, and they also did Tadakun Never Falls in Love. I love that too.
Rated show is an 8.
Yeah, it's rough. They did Sing Yesterday for me, which I liked, but other people didn't. But they also have done a lot of shows like My Senpai is Annoying, and I don't know. It feels like.
It feels like they have perfected the 7 out of 10.
Yeah. You know how you had like that the floor was a 7 with Spy Family. The ceiling at this for the show is an 8.
It's an 8, and its floor is probably like a 5, is what I would say. Because like I can't see it being horrible or something that you would like drop after an episode. A normal person, Miles, I could see you dropping it after an episode, but like a a normal rom-com person probably wouldn't drop this after one episode. But like I don't know, and it's always fun when you look at Doga Kobo. Just open up their Mal page and scroll down and tell me that there's one goddamn poster or preview that looks significantly different from the others, because there isn't. There literally is not.
Yeah, they all
They
look.
did Umaro-chan.
They look. Oh yeah, they did do a Marchan. They all look the same though. Every single PV they've ever done. It's always
They apparently did a mecha, and that one is standing out to me. But other than that, yeah. Oh, also, they pump out shows. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, this is so many shows, and they're all 7 to 8.
Yeah. Again, so I would not get that excited about this show, but it's not going to be offensively bad, I don't think. Yeah, so maybe I'll try it if Shikimori.
It sounds like you might like it. I mean, I would say it has like a chance that you like it, Pat, because a lot of these shows, I'm thinking of the shows that you're like, I really like this show, but what that means is you like gave it an 8 instead of a 6, like sort of deal.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, for me, it's just like, how is this going to differentiate itself so much from, I don't know, all the other rom-coms that I've watched, Golden Time, Pet Girl Sakura, so Bunny Girl Senpai, like
the only thing that I can think of is that the main characters are dating episode 1. Like, maybe
that would be nice.
It's a different dynamic a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, but they're in high school, so like,
True.
right? So like, that's gonna limit anything from happening.
It doesn't always.
No, that's true.
But
I don't
usually you're correct.
Yeah.
But like, is it gonna be better than Horimiya though? Probably not. And like, I didn't care that much for Horimiya myself either. So like, I didn't hate it. It was just like, all right, this is more of the same to me.
Did you give Horimiya like a 7?
I think I gave it a 7. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe an 8 if I was being nice that day. I think I gave it a 7 though. But either way, like again, it's not a show. Again, if I was sitting there and someone was like, "Hey, let's watch the show together," I'd say, "Yeah, sure," and I would watch it. But God damn it, I don't have time anymore. And the only thing I have time for is Heroes of the Legendary Galactic Front. Because I am dedicated now to doing that, and no one is stopping me except myself.
You got
which is pretty likely.
That.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a problem. Like, do I really think that this show is going to change how I look at anime or something that's I'm gonna remember or it's gonna stick with me? I don't expect that.
I would say the only reason it could is if Shikimori is a truly unique female protagonist in a rom-com, which it sounds like that potential is there.
But it's unlikely.
It'll be really hard because we literally just had Marin from Dress Up Darling just take over like every best girl category for this year. So I think Shikimori kind of has that potential of being like a really cool female protagonist. It's just gonna be really hard to follow up in Marin's footsteps because she fucking absolutely made that show what it was.
Yeah, because she was, the most perfect person to ever exist in the history.
She's great. What a wonderful
erection,
character.
Almost too
propulsion
perfect.
Was what
that
made
was.
The show.
Yeah, that was a scene that happened. Yeah,
that was really good.
It's a basic tool is a hydraulic lift. Anyways.
All right, that was last season though, so we're not talking about that anymore.
We will be talking about it in 2 weeks though.
Oh wow, all those episodes of anime that I watched. Totally, I'll be there.
Sorry, by we I mean me and Rifle.
Yeah. Miles and I are too. Again, we're both too old at this point. Miles is
I'm older than both
40,
of you.
and then I'm like
you're
20.
older by me than like 3 months, Pete.
But I am older than you.
Fair.
And they've only got like 8 years on me, so like
yeah. Well, but I might have watched more seasonals than you last year, though, Pat. So
maybe over. I don't know. I watched a lot last winter. I think it might be close. Okay. It will be close though, because I slowed down significantly in terms of completed seasonals for sure. I slowed down.
I watched like 70. Whatever, no big deal. That's
okay, Pete. What do we got next?
Miles got married last year.
That's true. He did. I was there.
Bought a house.
I was too. Oh, he did buy a house. Wow.
All right, not to get a little off topic, but that's Shikimori. I mean, it's a rom-com. I'm gonna watch it. I think it has the potential to be a very solid 7.5 out of 10. So I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, it looks like
the best 7 out of 10.
It looks like a good time. I like good times.
Season.
You know what else looks like a good time? You know what else looks like a good time? The next show, because I'm the only one that's going to watch it and I'm going to have a great time. That's Aharen. Was it Aharen is Indecipherable? Aharen is a small, cute student with a quiet voice, is quite bad at determining distance in personal space. Sometimes she's inches away from your face, and at other times miles too far or miles to go. The only one who tries to understand her antics is a guy named Matsuboshi, who is seated beside her in class. He has a menacing face, but in reality, he is a kind boy with an imagination that can run wild at times. This is a comedy slice of life. I watched the PV. This is right up my alley in terms of slice of life. It looks hilarious. In my sense, it just looks like a good time. It's like school antics with like a Ryuji-esque character for the male and the opposite of Taiga for the female character. So, gentlemen, wow. I know you guys probably don't have a lot of thoughts on this show, but I'm gonna pass it to you anyway.
You had us hooked until you said Taiga.
You had me the opposite of Taiga. Yeah, opposite.
You had me there. Oh, okay. Sorry, that's my bad.
So I gotta say, I'm looking at some splash art and stuff. I tried to go into these things blind because I feel like that is my role to play. This looks like it's gonna be pretty funny, based just like he's doing like the carrying her like over his shoulder. She's like doing this too, and they both have these super stoic looks on their faces. I could see this being pretty funny, actually. I could also see it not being funny at all. But I could see this being pretty funny. I think that it at the very least, it seems like a very pleasant and just joyous watch. Like it'll just be like a good time. Like Hinamatsuri, maybe. Something that's just like maybe like the non-sad moments of Hinamatsuri.
Sure, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and life has been stressful lately, and I've been finding myself less wanting to consume things about how life is meaningless and more things showing how life is meaningless by people doing nothing and having a good time as they do it. So this really does seem like it could do that for me, and it might just be comfy enough for me to like. I gotta say, I had no idea what this was going into literally 4 minutes ago, but I'm gonna check this one out.
Yeah, so this one done by the legendary studio of Felix Film, which I want you to take one guess. I want you to take one guess if you haven't looked yet, Miles.
I looked.
All right, so Pete looked. Miles, what is the one anime? All right, sorry. What of the 4 anime that they have done?
Do I know any of them?
You would know the name if I said it, yes.
Okay.
It is a sickening 1 out of 4.
Okay, how about Arimo? Did they do Arimo?
Good guess.
Good guess, but no.
Okay.
No. That would be didn't A1 do that or no? What am I thinking? I don't know. No, so Nekopara.
Oh,
Is one of the 3 shows that this studio has done other than the series.
See, you what they've done, which is possibly one of the greatest anime of all time, is Yurasakai Picnic.
Yes, that too. Another banger.
I liked.
I know 0 people that have finished that show.
Yeah, I've watched like 4 episodes, but I enjoyed those 4 episodes.
Yep. Sounds about right.
But yeah, so this I don't expect a lot. Maybe it's just the hair color and like the looks on the face. Like you said, the promotional art for it is very funny. Like it looks fun and stuff. But it also reminds me of My Girlfriend's a Show Bitch a little bit. Like
Great show.
No,
I gave it an 8.
I think I gave it a 5. So there we go. All right, so I guess that's where our again, just another rom-com maybe that this one.
This is no romance. This is strictly slice of life comedy.
Strictly slice. There's no romance at all.
That makes me so much more excited for it to be.
I kind of agree that'll make it better because it's like a platonic relationship. That'll be fun. I could say this is like one of those shows I think I would watch like funny if I accidentally clicked on a YouTube video of like all of the funny clips of that show compiled into like a 10-minute thing. I would watch it, but like I don't think watching a full series of this would be like I'm just not hooked enough. But if it's like I don't know, if everyone's talking about it, I'll definitely give it a try because it does look very cute. I just I don't know, man. It's
I
a
think this,
bad studio too. Like that is a
yeah.
bad reputation to have. Is nobody like Nekopara is
Yeah.
your top property that you've worked on before. I don't know, man.
This is a Peach show, like for sure. Like I'm gonna enjoy it. It looks like a fun slice of life. That's what I like watching. So I'm looking forward to it. I forgot to mention Shikimori airs Sunday on Crunchyroll. Aharen airs Friday, and it doesn't have a streaming service yet. So off to no, it's not High Dive. I'm gonna be off to my old pirating websites. Yep. I mean, I'm not gonna visit those websites to not watch this show. So that's Aharen is Indecipherable. Next up, man, a big old couple of cucks. Here we go. A couple of cuckoos. I think that's how you pronounce it. But everybody online is just calling it a couple of cucks. 16-year-old super studier Nagi, second year student at some river school, whatever, was switched at birth. On his way home to dinner to meet his birth parents, he accidentally meets a brash, outspoken Erica, who is determined to make Nagi her fake boyfriend, as she never wants to actually marry. But once Nagi makes it to dinner, he finds out his parents have decided to resolve the hospital switch by conveniently marrying him to the daughter of his birth parents who raised them. It turns out to be no other than Erica. Wow, this premise sounds fucking trash. Will I watch every episode? You're damn right. Eggy from the Discord said that this show is bad. It's so bad, it's not even fun bad. She said that it was worse than Rent a Girlfriend, which is very hard to do. So this sounds like a great time. Gentlemen, your thoughts on a couple of cucks?
So my thought was, first, I was so excited for the NTR anime,
Yep.
right? But it sounds like we're not getting that.
We have one.
So yeah, I know, but it's ironic. I don't actually want to watch it. And my next thoughts are like, clearly redheaded girl wins. And blonde girl appears to be best girl based off of the promotional art.
Ooh,
so
I'm leaning purple hair.
Purple hair seems a little too excited.
It is a harem, by the way.
Yes, no, I am quite aware.
Is it?
Is it? Yeah, so when I first started watching seasonals, one of the first seasonals that I watched was the Quintessential Quintuplets. And I hadn't watched like a ton of anime, and I was really excited, and I was like, wow, I guess I like harem shows. Like, I was like, this is a harem show. I enjoyed the Quintessential Quintuplets. This must be true. So I tried watching some other harems and reading We'll Never Learn and some other things, and what I realized was I like mysteries. And the Quintessential Quintuplet just happened to be a harem, as well as a mystery. And so when I found out that it really isn't in question who wins harems, like in 97% of cases, I lost all interest in them. And I'm not going to watch this unless someone tells me it's really good. And in fact, that's not true unless like 3 people tell me it's really good.
All right, well, let me be the first to tell you why it's going to be really good.
Okay, let's hear.
The 2 studios. There's 2 studios behind it. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, Synergy SP.
Synergy SP, which is known mainly for doing Major. And
but they did that anime you like.
I was about to mention that there's one good show on this list that I saw, and that is the Taisho Tome Taisho Maiden Fairy Tale, the historical romance that came out I think 2 seasons ago that I finally finished like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Tells you my pace of watching anime. The funny thing was with that show is I would only watch it when I came home like drunk from the bar or something, and I'd plop down on my couch and I'd watch it on my Apple TV because of Funimation. I didn't want to have to log into my phone and deal with the bullshit there. Like I just could only watch it there. So that's how I ended up watching it over the course of like 4 months. But it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. Blah blah blah. So that's one good reason why you'll like this. That's the first studio, Synergy SP. Other than that, though, they've done nothing of note. The next studio, though, Shin Animation, man, they have done nothing but Doraemon, Crayon Shin-chan, whatever that show is called, or series is called, and Takagi-san. Those are the 3 shows, the 3 properties that they've ever worked on. What's not to love about that?
Whoa, you missed Pooey Pooey Bowl Car, which is like a cult classic.
Oh well, pardon me to all the pulley
Mole car.
fucking mole car. I
Yep.
thought you said pole car, and I was like, what the hell is that? Not that I know what a mole car is either. Though. Either way, what a studio backing, or two studios backing this show. Man, this PV art just screams like that. What was that show called? 2 seasons ago, Pete, um with the writer. The guy is like obsessed with the one where the girl dates him and then is and it's like, oh, I'll pretend to be your the childhood friend is like, oh, I'll pretend to be your girlfriend to get back at what's her name. Are you not remembering this, Pete? Like, am I alone? What was that show called? Holy shit! I actually watched the show too, and it was awful.
Oh, is that with like the childhood friend never wins one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I dropped it after like 3 episodes.
Oh, that's right. That's why you probably don't remember.
Well,
Yeah.
this is that's a very good comparison though.
It looks and it looks just the same as this. So I'm sure it'll be very, very similar. Very girlfriend, ex-girlfriend looking show too.
Yep.
You know, like
Yep.
I don't see how this could be anything other than the typical harem waifu baity show, rather than like an okay harem like, I don't know, Quince or Bokuben, where it's like, all right, there's at least some substance there. I really don't see this being any good. So yeah, that was a long-winded way of saying, Miles, you should totally watch the show, and
Okay,
I
sure, why
should count as like 3 people for you to watch the show.
not? Okay, we'll do.
Yeah, usually when like a harem manga below a 7 is like a bad sign. Like this just has like, you don't need 2 studios to make a harem, and that's like
Any
that's like
manga
red flag 7.
below a 7. What I've learned about manga fans is that literally anything that has pictures on a piece of paper, they're like, "Oh my god, top 10 out of 10." So like,
You've been
Right?
exposed to one very specific manga fan. I think that's making you think that way. But that's
that one manga fan is Pete.
Oh.
Yo, shout
Yeah,
out
no,
to myself.
it's not just Tyler. It's Pete. It's
Oh, is it
everyone.
Pete too?
They
Wow.
all, everyone loves manga. Like,
Could
a
you
lot.
tell by my background?
I could. But when you see a manga that's below a 7, it really does make you think to yourself, whew,
Yeah.
Ow.
whew.
How did this get an anime?
Yeah, that's
This.
There's not a whole lot to say. I think I said I was going to watch all of it, but now that Pat brought up the where the childhood friend always wins show, and I dropped that after like 3, probably gonna drop this. Now that I think about it, this season's so stacked where I don't need, like, I like trash, but I don't need pure trash, and this just seems like pure trash.
I do like the promo art though, having the cuckoo eggs, knowing the story of what that bird is or whatever, where they essentially they lay their eggs in another nest so that the other bird has to take care of it.
Oh, nice.
And raise it like their own. That's what a cuckoo is. That's where the term cucking comes from, right? So,
Damn, look at that.
I know, isn't that cool? Isn't it cool when things make sense in the world, right? Like, and there's like actual logic and thought behind things. Well,
so wait, doesn't cuckolded come from the word horned?
I don't know.
pretty sure the cuckold or cuck. I don't know. The cuckoo bird does this though. I'm pretty sure that's.
Oh yeah, they do. They do replace the young of one bird, with
they
theirs.
join it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Either way, I think that's very clever. That's very clever to like have that be like as part of the promo art with them sitting with the eggs or whatever. Either way, we're not going to fact check Pat on this podcast. Please don't.
Hell no. Facts don't matter.
Agenda over facts, and my agenda is that this show is going to be great, and Miles is going to have to watch it. And yeah.
Can't
Oh
wait
no,
to
it does come
dominate
from
it.
the thing. I'm trying to think of what word I thought of that was horn. Never.
Oh,
mind.
so I was right. All right,
You
thank
were
you.
right.
There we go.
No,
All
I
right.
was looking up. For some reason, there's a thing with horns, and Moses was. Anyways, let's go.
Yeah. I can't wait to nominate this for Watch Club next season, and we can discuss that. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I'm probably dropping it. If I don't drop it, I'll give it like a 5 in our seasonal review in 3 months. So there's that. Oh yeah, and this is airing on Saturdays on Crunchyroll. Next up, I have the manga here. It's called Skeleton Knight in Another World. It sounds generic. Guess what, boys? It is. One day, a gamer played video games until he fell asleep, and when he woke up, he found himself in the game world as a skeleton, equipped with the powerful weapon and armor of his avatar, but stuck in this frightening skeletal appearance. Ark has to find a place for himself in this new fantastical land. All hopes for a quiet life are dashed when he cross paths with a beautiful elven warrior, sending him on a journey of full conflict and adventure. Yay! So if you're thinking if this is Overlord, you're right, it is. But
You stole my joke.
sorry, it was like, I mean, it was there.
I mean, it was right there.
Yeah, it was right there. I'm reading this manga, and there's a couple things that I enjoy about it more than Overlord. First of all, the main character arc is kind of just like comes like in his world, like the isekai genre exists and like media. So he's just his media's like, oh, I'm isekai. This is dope. And he's like, but I'm a skeleton. Feels bad, man. So like it's like that type of comedy where it's like he just gets that he's here. He's just like, fuck it. Which I kind of enjoy. It's like whatever. Second of all, the show's pretty fun. It's pretty lackadaisical in terms of the storytelling, but it's just like if you're looking for like an isekai fix, this is like going to be like a very solid 6. Like if that's what you were looking for in your seasonals, just a 6 isekai, skeleton knight in another world is it. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Overlord 4?
Yeah, so honestly, this might be better than Overlord 4 because Albedo isn't in it, as she is my least favorite anime character, or tied for it. I guess I don't have a lot of thoughts. There's nothing that makes this stand out, Pete? It's just a generic isekai?
It's pretty generic. I would say it's like with the currently airing isekai where they kind of try to make it serious. This isn't serious. It's just like it's like the Miller Lite of realist heroes. Like that's what it is.
Okay, yeah, I guess I don't have a lot to add then, if it seems like you summed it up. I don't plan on watching it, I guess, unless it ends up being better than expected. Because I have quite the backlog on generic isekai, and I doubt this would be at the top of the list.
Yeah, for sure.
But even if you knew that this was the studio, one of the studios, because this is another double studio show for some reason.
Oh my god,
a lot of
why?
those this season. Well, I don't know. The studio behind it, the first listed one though, did Pretty Derby.
Hell yeah.
So Pete's gonna love this show, no doubt.
And
they also did Super Cub.
Let's...
Yep, they did. Yep, they did Super Cub, and then pretty much nothing else of note. And I guess Prince of Tennis as well. They've been doing some of the newer movies for that show. Forgot that show still gets published. It's so crazy to me because it's so good, man. I loved it growing up, but it's so weird that it still gets more and more anime adaptations and stuff. I don't know, it's cool. And then the other studio is Studio Hornets, who have only done this or will be doing this, and then also did Somali in the Forest Spirit or whatever the hell that show was called.
Great show.
Yeah. So that's a good sign, actually, even though it's got 2 studios for some reason. Character design looks pretty cool in the show from what I've seen. Like I don't know, I like it enough that I would not hate it, but I don't know. I've isekai. I'm isekai'd out, man. I'm tapping out of this one early. I just can't. I can't. So yeah, I don't know. Again, won't be bad. Probably won't be that great either. So
yeah, I think it's gonna be better than what we've gotten recently, but like by the slimmest of margins. Like this has like a 25% chance at being a 7. Like I think those odds are real. But I mean,
and like a 75% chance of being a 10, right?
Like a 5 or a 6 probably.
Yeah.
Actually, my 5 isekai is Cell Phone in Another World, and I think that this is better than that. So I think I'm leaning heavy that this is a hard 6. But we'll wait and see. Skeleton in Another World is airing Thursdays on Crunchyroll. I really didn't think that there's going to be a whole lot to say about that, but we'll move on to our next one is Summertime Rendering. After his parents died, Shinpei lived with the Kofun sisters, Mia and Ushio, but he has since moved to live on his own in Tokyo. But after Ushio drowns while trying to save the young Shiori, he returns home to mourn her departure. However, bruises around Ushio's neck bring her cause of death into question. Taking a step back, Shinpei becomes convinced that there must be another explanation. Dangerous entities roam among the islanders, and a vision of a deceased Ushio asks him to save Mio as her final request. He is certain that there is something afoot, and Ushio's death is only a piece of the puzzle. Some things about Summertime Render. I believe that this is it's 2 core, and this is going to be the first seasonal on Disney Plus. So
Oh, baby.
if you were
What the hell?
yes, Disney did like the full batch of Star Wars Visions as their first anime. This is their first seasonal that they are doing. So if you are interested in watching Summertime Rendering, you're gonna need Disney Plus or the worldwide internet. I've seen some PVs. It looks like there's like a lot of time looping going on in this, so that probably tickles Miles' fancy. One of the guys is holding a nail gun, I believe, so that's cool. And the girl is constantly in her bathing suit, so it's got some selling points for different people. Gentlemen, I want to get your thoughts on Summertime Rendering.
I had to sit through a couple of cuckoos, a couple of skeleton knights, but we're finally here. This show is going to be a 4 or like a 9.
No in between.
There's no in between. It's impossible. Because anything with a time loop is either good or garbage, in my books at least. I'm really excited about this. Supernatural mystery. That is a way to hook me in.
Yep.
Everyone looks shiny enough that it looks nice. OLM is a kick-ass studio. I'm sorry for stealing your bit.
Yeah,
Pat,
that's the only thing I really had to talk about, so I really appreciate you bringing it up.
Okay, well, would you like to talk about what OLM has done then?
A minor anime known as Pokemon and everything that Pokemon has ever existed, and then they also did the old school Berserk 97, or 98. Which one is it? I don't know.
97.
97 is 97. All right. And then lastly, they most recently did Odd Taxi. So, and Komi-san, I guess
And
too.
Komi,
So
yeah.
yeah, you know, they've got a couple decent shows on here.
Yeah, they've been, doing pretty well of recent. We've seen that they can do mystery really well directionally with Odd Taxi. We see that they can do shiny people really well with Komi. And this seems like a combination of the two concepts.
Shiny
so,
people.
I mean, look at them. They're so shiny.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited for this one. I'm definitely going to give it a chance. Now, with any sort of mystery, anything, it's possible that they get, a little too big brain towards the end or the middle and even the beginning sometimes and just ruin things. But, I'm pretty excited about this. It looks like it's got some supernatural stuff going on. It looks like people have various weapons. I love Higurashi. This looks like it might just be Higurashi, but with some male characters.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I if we nominated for Watch Club, I would watch it, or I might even vote for it. But I don't see myself watching this week to week, especially because it's a mystery. I hate watching those one episode at a time and being left waiting. You know, I hate it. I hate that. It drives me insane with a show like that where I just need to know the answer. So yeah, I don't know. Again, maybe I'd go back and watch it after the fact if people said it ties itself up together really well. It's weird. The guy holding the nail gun really draws your eye in the PV.
Yeah. I didn't even know that there's a guy with a sniper rifle in the back.
There's a person with a handgun, a person with a knife, and a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With that nail gun.
Wait, so the blonde girl is dead though, right?
No, that's her sister. The dead girl's sister. Wait.
Okay, and the dead girl is not shown in the...
Nope, just kidding. Wait. That's the dead girl.
It is? Okay, yeah. So she's the one who dies.
She's the one who drowns. That's why she's wearing a swimsuit.
Yeah, the manga has a 7-8 on Mal, which is a very hit or miss sort of area.
Right.
But I don't know if they're adapting the entire manga. It's possible.
I think they are. I think they are.
Okay. Yeah, so it says that... Yeah, okay, so it starts off really good, and then some people don't like the ending. We'll see how that goes. But that's true for a lot of mystery stuff in general.
It's hard to finish a good mystery, right? It's very difficult. So yeah, I don't know. I could say it's also just not my genre though either. Not my area of expertise. So I'd say if Miles says he likes it, then you should go and watch it. But if he doesn't, then you shouldn't. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I'm a wait and see what the reception is, because OLM is a selling point for me, but kind of like Pat said, I think I would rather watch this in a bulk than weekly. So, Summertime Rendering is airing on Wednesdays on Disney Plus. Next up, had to throw in a sports anime. Why not? It was either this or Love All Play, which is also done by OLM. That's the badminton one, but we're doing soccer. We're doing Ashi. Ao is a young, aspiring soccer player from the backwater town in Japan. His hopes of getting into high school with a good soccer club are dashed when he causes an incident during a critical match for his team, which results in their loss and elimination from the tournament. Nevertheless, he catches the eye of somebody important who happened to be visiting from Tokyo. How will things work out for Ashio? So, I'm assuming this is just going to... It's labeled as sign-in, which is, like, surprising because this looks like a very generic shonen soccer show. And the manga has a pretty decent rating, so that's kind of like what I'm leaning. I love Haikyuu. I'm a big fan of sports anime in general, so I'm interested to see how this plays out. This is kind of the appetizer where everyone's waiting for Blue Lock to come out. I think later this year. That's like the big soccer anime that people love because the premise of Blue Lock is wild. This one looks like a very generic sports anime that I'll probably really like. So, gentlemen, your thoughts on Ashi?
What I'm gonna do is, because I know Pat's not a sports anime guy, but I'm like,
No.
if you and Pat had a baby, Pete, where I like some sports anime.
Hey, if Pat plays his cards right,
but not all of them.
Yeah.
So if this actually is like a sign-in and they like take the sport seriously and the main character knows how to play soccer, I'd be like a lot more interested in it than say Haiku, where Hinata doesn't know what volleyball is, even though he's been following volleyball his entire life, and he had to learn what a setter was. And I'm sorry, I can't get over it.
I know you
can. I'm sure by like season 5, Hinata is like done explaining the basic rules of volleyball to us, but I don't know. This is like I think Pete has like a pretty good sense of my taste in sports anime and stuff, and so this is just going to be me waiting for you to see what you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not opposed to this in theory, because I think, if it's animated well and you have like good interpersonal storylines, it could be a good show. But also I think it could be like pretty generic, which is what the cover art does make me think.
Yeah.
But you also don't judge a book by the cover. The scene and tag, I will say, leaves me a little intrigued.
Yeah.
Wait, so you like Haikyuu, right, Miles?
I do not.
Ah, shit. Well, guess what studio made Haikyuu?
Okay. Was it Production IG?
Yes, it was Production IG. What anime studio creates this anime? You must be wondering to yourself.
A1 Pictures.
Yes, that is exactly right. But yeah, no, obviously I bring this up because it is made by Production IG, so maybe it'll be... But which, of course, they've also done great shows like Vinland Saga and End of Evangelion. I guess Attack on Titan is a great show.
IG didn't do those?
They probably
Wit did Attack on Titan. Trigger did End of Eva.
They are involved though. Maybe the staff is involved.
They must be, because when you click on the thing, it shows up.
Maybe they're like, they're. When I think IG, I think like Haikyuu.
Right. So there's Haikyuu. There's also Psychopaths.
They did. Oh, Psychopaths.
Kuroko no Basket, Great Pretender, a couple more of the more iconic names that they've done recently, at least.
Okay, this must be Wit Studio must be owned by Production IG, because the Great Pretender was Wit, so that makes sense now.
There you go. They are one of the bigger studios out there, Production IG, and they've only been around for 15 years, so that's pretty surprising. I thought they were older than that, but either way, that's who makes this. I'll get my 2 cents in pretty quickly. I played soccer in college, and I hate soccer anime. I've never seen one that has ever intrigued me in any way, shape, or form. I think that they are all just so frustratingly just... I don't even know what to say. Like, they're just... Come on, guys, we can do it. Like
we're all in this together.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Except they're not singing. The problem is they're not singing, because if they were singing, it would be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we need High School Musical, the anime.
Yeah, that should have been what we're doing for freaking watch club next week instead. I'd rather do that.
Oh,
But
next year.
next year, there we go. What I just signed us up for.
Yep,
Sorry, guys.
you did. I'm gonna hold that to you.
I'm excited. I like that series. I actually do. But yeah, I don't know. Soccer anime has just never interested me, and it's weird because I love soccer. I watch it. I watch it religiously, but I just can't ever see myself watching an anime about a lot of sports in general, but especially a soccer one. I just look at these guys. Look at these guys on the PV, man. They look like such tools. Like, look at that guy with the green hair. Oh God, I would
They like
hate to be
cover
teammates with
every
him.
trope on their team.
Yeah,
Green hair,
exactly.
tall guy who looks like he's in Tokyo Revengers, but I'm gonna guess he's like a sweetheart and he bakes cookies.
Or there's like a JoJo Stan looking ass dude. In
They have,
there.
they have Bakugo,
Yeah.
with black hair in there.
Yep.
Yeah, they've got the foreigner with blonde hair. You know, they've got
the stoic foreigner.
the stoic foreigner. There he is. Yeah, the prince of what was that country that they made up in Tadaku Never Falls in
I
Love.
cannot remember.
Let's go with Britannia since that's
No.
referenced in like 75 anime.
That is used in a lot of anime. So but yeah, that's my point. I don't see this ever doing something that would change my mind about soccer anime or sports anime in general.
I would say if you're looking for a more serious adult version of a sports anime, check out Run with the Wind first, since that's an actually like incredible story that just happens to be centered around a sport. That's cross country running. Watch that
Yuri
first.
on Ice, maybe. Yuri on Ice is like
Yuri
so
on,
much
but
better.
like Yuri on Ice definitely has that like anime. I mean, it's like a combo. Run with the Wind is like a legit like college drama that just happens to be centered around cross country running. Ashi just seems like a combination of generic sports anime that's included in soccer, which can be fine because I think Haikyuu on the surface looks pretty generic, and I know Miles is a hater, but it's one of my favorite series of all time. I'm hoping for good things. Like the manga's like above an 8, which is pretty solid for a sports manga. So I'm definitely gonna be watching this. I'm gonna give it a shot, and we'll just see where it takes us. Ashi is airing Saturdays on Crunchyroll. Next up, this show I'm fucking jacked for. Love After World Domination. In the eyes of the public, Fudu and Desumi are sworn enemies who have nothing in common. Fudu, also known as the Red Gelato, I don't know, the Red Power Ranger, is the leader of the Hero Squadron Gelto 5, whose mission is to bring about world peace. On the other hand, Desumi is the minion leader of Gecko, a villainous organization seeking world domination. However, despite these differences, their relationship is not quite what it seems. They are not making a show of being at each other's throat. Desumi and Fudu continue to pursue a forbidden love. So this is what happens if the Red Power Ranger falls in love with the person that they were fighting against, and they have to hide their relationship. I think this is a super fun concept that I don't really see a lot in like stories, in anime, I should say. It looks really clean, I'll put it that way. I don't know if the animation's gonna be good or not, but like the characters themselves, I think look visually appealing to my eye. And it's a rom-com, and it just set as Power Rangers, so I'm looking forward to this. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Love After World Domination?
Well, after 1 minute of research, I quickly know what Pat's talking points are going to be.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Is there two of them?
It is bad. No,
it's not two of them. It's
this
one.
might be a case where we wish that there were two of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, I will say, the concept seems cute, and if the humor is good, I could see me liking this. It's interesting. I have to see what the dynamic is. There's like a few ways that you could do this sort of like secret lovers dynamic. And I could see me liking some of them and not liking other ones. I gotta say, I generally like the character design. It's like cute but simple, but I think it does like relatively good like visual storytelling. You can tell that she's evil because of her outfit, and you can tell he's a good guy because he's literally just the Red Power Ranger. So, there's some good stuff there. I imagine that there'll be some sort of like team up thing at some point when they realize someone has been pulling the strings all along. That's in charge of either or both organizations of theirs. But what? This will segue to Pat. What I see being the potential downfall for this is, in fact, its studio. Pat, would you like to talk about it?
This is done by Project Number 9, and when you sort by score on Mal, you see that its highest rated show is a 7.31 out of maybe like 20 shows or so as well. All of them similar to other shows, all look identical. Like you could not pick them from a lineup of each other in terms of cover art.
The Lolly basketball show I could pick out, but other than that,
you're right. The Lolly basketball show with 4 female characters on the or 5 on the cover is not that different looking from was that the Bookworm show? No, that's not that. This is the God, what is it called?
Yo, this studio did bottom tier character Tomozaki-kun, which is a slapper.
Is it? Yeah, it's a 7.15 slapper.
It's a great
is that what
show.
it is?
It's gamers but good.
Wow, that's a compliment right there. But,
why are there so many lolly basketball shows?
Yeah, apparently there
There's
are.
like 4 of them.
Yeah,
Why?
there are because you know
it
why.
sells.
It's sad. But yeah, their top rated show is the Higehiro from I think like 3 seasons ago, where it was
that show sucked.
the high schooler who basically lives in the office man's house for a long period of time, and they've slowly fallen in love. She tries to tempt him multiple times.
Why is the lolly basketball show tagged ecchi?
Ooh.
So speaking of the lolly basketball show, Love After World Domination is done by that same studio. So I have low expectations. I like the character design too. I think it looks like it could be cute, but it also gives off that look of Welcome to Demon School, Aruma-kun. Like it has that same like art style. I didn't like the style of art for that show, so that's probably why it's not like catching my eye or really hooking me. I don't know. I could see it being pretty funny though. Like again, another one of those shows where you watch the clips if it comes up on your YouTube and you laugh at it, and then you're like, all right, that's enough. That's probably the funniest thing that happens in the show, and that's it,
I do like the manga art fairly a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'll give this a try. I don't have high expectations, but I've been intrigued enough to watch the episode to actually be disappointed by it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, the Lolly basketball show is their 3rd highest rated show. Yeah, like it's at a 7.06. So goddamn anime. Holy shit. What are we doing with our lives here?
Yep.
It was a mistake.
So Love After World Domination will be airing Friday on Crunchyroll. Next up, we have Dance Dance Danseur. Junpei is a happily snoozing away during his sister's ballet recital when a male ballet dancer steps onto the stage. Moved by his strength and skills the dancer displays, the boy discovers his love for the art. But after a certain tragedy happens, of course, he vows to leave his past behind him and turn into the epitome of manliness. What will he do when his love for ballet reignites? So this is Step Up, but in ballet instead of like whatever Step Up was. Good things about this one. I think that this type of genre is not really touched on. We had Welcome to the Ballroom, which was pretty well received, and it would be interesting to see how they incorporate ballet to it. I don't know if it's gonna be like a Kageki Shoujo style where they're at like I think I saw like a picture where he's kind of like at a school, so it might be like a Juilliard or something like that where he attends and stuff like that. So don't really see that a whole lot in anime, I guess, in terms of like the performance arts high school. I guess we got Blue Period, but I guess I was like, yeah, gentlemen, your thoughts on Dance Dance Danseur?
Yeah, Pete, if you like this, based on your Kageki Shoujo recommendation for like things like this, I'll for sure give this a try. I was a little skeptical going to Kageki Shoujo, but I of course very much enjoyed it. It's a great show. I do have a question for you though. Are we human or are we Dancer?
Let me check my vitals.
Oh, okay. Is your sign vital?
My sign is vital.
How are your hands?
A little sweaty right now.
No, don't sweat.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I get
Hey,
it.
yo, I did an Ed Miles to Go reference. You did a Don't Sweat reference. We just need a PAX key reference this time.
That's a Danish or some sort of Polish snack or donut apparently. A paczki.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can get it in there.
I believe in you.
This art is interesting because it looks a bit shoujo-y, but it's labeled as a seinen.
Yeah.
And like again, if something's a seinen, I'm willing to give it a chance, especially for like something like this where it looks like it's like about. It's not like a seinen because it's like edgy. It's like a seinen because of subject matter, I guess, and like how they. Or at least I think not. I guess you could make an edgy show about ballet if you really wanted to, but it's not like Darker Than Black or something like
Yeah.
that. So, you know, this is just it doesn't like immediately hook me, but it is something that I'm gonna, if I hear positive things about, I will actually watch because of my history with shows like this. So those are my thoughts on it. Pat, what do you got for us?
Oh yeah. It's done by Mappa, so that means
Oh,
it's gonna be
that's
at
a
least
good
like
sign. Yeah.
that's gonna be at least something decent, right? Like not in love with the art style though. I don't know. The eyes are kind of just weird to me. I don't like them. The cover art is very interesting. I think it's like intentionally melodramatic looking, right? And I don't know, is that foreshadowing that like certain tragedy is the death of his sister? Is that what happens? Like I don't know. I don't know if the PV gave that away or not. But I'm very curious to see where the show goes because, like you said, the sign in tag throws kind of a wrench into this. Where how are you gonna sell a show to young male adults? Like 16 plus or whatever sign in is meant to be about fucking ballet, man. Like, how do
So
you?
Mappa did Yuri on Ice, so we could be in for some like extravagantly animated ballet sequences
Yeah.
in this.
That's true.
Ballet is like not quite as dynamic as figure skating, but it is dynamic. So I'm actually like seeing what shows they've done previously. It's Mappa. I say that like we don't all know, but um, realizing that it's Mappa that it does bump this up like a little bit because they do those sort of things so very well when they want to.
Absolutely. So yeah, I this will be a wait and seer for me. I think, especially because the art does not. I don't know. I don't like. I like the cover art. Like I said, it's like a cool little pose or whatever. Like, it's very like curiosity piquing, I guess.
Mhm.
But I don't like their eyes. Their eyes, like just. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Not for me.
the art, I feel like if you watched Welcome to the Ballroom, you'll probably enjoy this. It has a very similar art style to that. And yeah, like you said, Yuri on Ice with Mappa, that's kind of like a performance style show. This is probably going to be, I just based off the PV, I feel like they're going to be at some form of school setting where there's like a competition to be like the top star. That's just my guess of what this is going to be like. So that has me a little bit intrigued. So yeah, I'll check out Dance Dance Danseur on Fridays on Crunchyroll. All right, and then moving on to our last non-sequel show that we're going to be talking about as a group, and I know Pat can't wait to talk about this one. It is Birdie Wing. I would say the synopsis, if it had one, it's about two girls who play golf. When they hit the ball, it sounds like they're playing Mario Golf, and
Yeah.
there might be some form of Yakuza / drugs involved. I don't know because there's just no effing information out there. Um, I this show just is a wild card. I think this could just be. I don't know if this is going to be Happy Gilmore. I don't know if this is going to be like the Legend of Bagger Van. Like I don't know what I'm getting.
You mind if
However,
I go first?
yeah,
After.
take it
Yeah, yeah.
away.
Well, no, I was just gonna say Bandai Namco as well is the studio behind this, which is so weird to think about. Like, I don't know, when you think of Bandai Namco, at least I think of like video games, not anime so much, right? So they did a lot of Gintama. They did Welcome to Demon School, Rumakun as well. Um, among other shows that they've done, mainly Gintama is their big one. But I am so looking forward to this show. I think that this is so. Like I said, Spy Family is the one I'm most looking forward to. I think this one's second. Like low key, like I am so hyped for an anime about girls golfing that isn't what was the last one we had. Survivor
The
Utility.
utility, yeah.
Survivor Utility, where it was a 15-minute PV where
I
nothing
love
happened.
that. I
It was
love
cute.
I
It was
loved
cute,
it.
but literally nothing happened. They didn't even like have her get better or anything. They just like
True.
we were like, "Hey, you suck. Learn." And then she learned a little bit, and then it was like, "Ah, still not good enough though." There's the anime, and it was just like, "What the fuck was that?" This might actually have like a real story, and I like it because I love golf. Big fan of golf and golfing. I think it's gonna be really cool to see them. Pete mentioned like Yakuza or whatever. Even if it's just, hey, it's a girl who's not used to playing by like societal norms or whatever. Like the clear like distinction between the two main girls. One is like someone who's like been training for the tour her whole life or whatever. Like is very clearly like a formal, old school, formal golfer. The other one is just doing it because she fucking loves the sport. And I love seeing those clashes. For me, I guess I land in the more traditional golfing style where like getting dressed properly and everything like that. But for tennis is a very similar sport where there's like the clash between the new age people like Kyrgios and some of the more obnoxious or viewed as obnoxious or louder players, and some of the older style people who are very formal and like, oh, if you shout or swear during the match, you should be fined or lose points, whatever. So I think that dynamic would be really fun to see in an anime if it's done properly, and that's what I'm anticipating between what are their name? Aoi,
Eve and I or whatever.
Eve and
Aoi.
Aoi or whatever. Aoi, whatever. I'm all aboard Eve's story arc though. I'm very very curious to see what happens here. And god damn it, if I can't watch it anywhere, I'm gonna be really disappointed. So Crunchyroll, I'm counting on you.
Guess where it's streaming on?
Sentai Filmworks.
It does
Probably,
not
right?
have a streaming service yet.
That's what I thought. I was like, I didn't think they had announced it yet. So, which of course we some of these ones that don't have streaming services too so far might still get picked up. Sometimes I don't know. In the past, Crunchyroll will wait until the final couple days before it airs
Yep.
to announce that they're owning it. Probably because of contract negotiations and stuff. Trying to ink out every last dollar or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna watch every goddamn episode of it, and I'm gonna either love it or be mad at it, and I can't wait to be either. So, Miles, what about you? Have I sold you?
This is Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, but
Yeah.
with golfers.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for
You think we're gonna get a hentai out of it?
yeah, so the season dear God, that's a deep cut, Pete.
Such a terrible.
That's crazy.
Oh my
That's
god,
crazy, Pete.
that might be Pete's best ever joke.
That's
on
like
the podcast. That is top
legit. Like
5.
I mean, I'm gonna like.
Let's go.
I don't think I've ever said this, but that was out of pocket, dude. That's the only phrase I can think of saying.
Will Smith is coming out of the crowd to just slap you in the face right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dear God. So like,
How do we recover from that?
I don't know how I fucking recover from that. If the not golf plot of this is good, like if the rags to riches sort of deal, like, fish out of water sort of subplot for this is good, I'll dig it. And if it's not, I won't. And that's what I got. What I need to say though is this is very pretty looking.
Yes, it is.
It is very pretty looking. I like Aoi's character design because she appears to be the rich one.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I like. So yeah, those are my thoughts. It also looks like it might be a Yuri.
We kinda.
We literally have no idea. Like the
I'm
kinda...
just like I'm trying to get any hints I can. I mean, them sitting together on the bridge, looking longingly into the sun, is like gives me some Yuri vibes. I don't know if they'll just like have a really special friendship as people do in these sorts of medias, or they'll get to like make out or whatever. But we'll find out.
We're approaching
really,
the hentai, right?
we know nothing. Well, that's after Eve busts Aoi's knee and
with a 9
up
iron.
with a yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, we got there.
Oh my god.
For me,
What is wrong with us?
I don't know. It's great content though. The PV was pretty clean. I liked the. I think some people are gonna hate it, but like I mentioned earlier, when they like hit the ball, it sounds like you're playing Mario Golf. I like that. It's very
Me
like
too.
anime, like overdoing the sound effect, and like you can tell that like this chick just crushed it. It's like I don't know. That's kind of like what I got, the vibes I got from the PV. Still don't know if this might be a crime mystery. Somebody might get stabbed in this because I don't know anything. There's a guy with a scar on his face. He looks dangerous. I'm assuming there's gonna be some form of debt to pay. Kind of getting those vibes, you know. Eve, a little rebellious, has her father got into some trouble. She has to play golf to pay back her debts. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. We'll wait and see when we get Birdie Wing airing on Tuesdays on the internet somewhere.
Do you know who Eve's voice actress is? She's got a long list of like
I'm looking
what
right
do you call it?
now.
Credits. She is Tsukasa from Tonikawa Kawaii. She's
She's Nezuko.
she's Nezuko apparently as
Very
well.
demanding.
It gets more demanding, yes. And then she is also the one that really caught my eye was Kate from Shadow's House.
Oh,
Isn't that cool? Like small
yes.
world shit. She's also
Mistress
on.
Kate.
Yeah, she's also an X-Arm, so cool. Good for you, I guess.
And then the rich girl is Mai from Bunny Girl Senpai.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Is she yeah, and also Raftalia, Miles' favorite.
Wow,
Ooh.
wow, is that my
That's a great
least favorite
transition.
voice actress?
That's a great transition. You know what
Thanks,
we're talking about
Matt.
next? We're done with our original, not sorry, original shows, non-sequels, and we're moving on to our sequels. And first and foremost, we have the big hitter, The Rising of the Slave Hero Season 2. Man, to be honest, I don't even remember what happened after episode 1. It's all a blur. I remember watching it for the first time and giving it a 9, and then Miles blessed me. Oh, one of the worst fights in anime history. And then Miles blessed me with his knowledge, and then I realized I was wrong, and I moved it to a 4. Thank you, base Miles. However, will I watch this as soon as it comes out? Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
This is
Me
going
too.
to
Yep.
for our Discord. This is because it's airing on Wednesday, which is like the only show airing on Wednesday. This is going to be Ranking of Kings Thursday. Is going to be Shield Hero Wednesday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the conversations that we're going to have, probably more than the actual show. I don't even know where it's going to take us. I hope the side cast, I hope the Spear Hero, the Archer, and the other guy, I hope they get like
Sword.
I hope they get the Plague or something, because they're like the worst supporting cast of, not even supporting cast, they're just like the worst side characters. Raftalia is cute though, so gentlemen, your thoughts on The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2?
Yeah, I hate The Rising of the Shield Hero with like a passion. Raftalia like willfully chooses to be a slave, and it's supposed to be viewed as like a thing where like she's showing Naofumi that he can trust her, but like of course he could trust her because he has full power over. Anyways, I
Anime Ethics 101.
Rising of the Shield Hero is like not for me. I was one of the first like things that I watched when I was watching seasonally. I think it might have been like the same season as Quince that it came out. And so I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is like pretty interesting. It doesn't really like, it's like the false rape accusation is like, that's a little questionable, but like that's not like that's never happened in the world ever, and like let's see how it handles it and stuff. And then he handles that by becoming a slave master. So I'm excited to watch the show because I think it's an absolute dumpster fire. I know what happens in the light novel, and I think that's an even bigger dumpster fire. I'm not sure if that's a season. I think it's like a season 3 thing that I'm particularly excited about. But we're going to get some great moments from Naofumi and his harem of lollies, and I am just very excited to watch this show, because it takes itself serious enough that I can have a fun time hating it, and people who like it because of the fantasy elements and stuff, like good for you guys. I get it technically, but like I'm gonna have a fun time hating this show.
The one caveat I'll give this show is at least it's not Mushoku Tensei. That's what I'll say for it.
Yeah.
At least that show's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to go and I'd have to think long. I don't know enough about where the Mushoku Tensei plot goes to know, but like Naofumi is like probably a better person than Rudy, like probably.
Yeah, it's
probably.
You could weigh both sides probably.
Yeah.
I don't even see Naofumi as a bad person. I just see a lot of his decisions as like short-sighted and not really like thinking clearly. Like he's just like that. That's the way I've always viewed it. And I was in the same boat as Pete, where I watched the show originally and I loved it. I was like having a lot of fun with it, and I wasn't really thinking about it in like a critical sense. And then Miles comes in, ruins the show for both of us, and is like, oh yeah, this guy's a slave owner. Like, and to me, I saw the slave crest scene as like, oh, her proving her dedication, whatever. Like, that's what you're supposed to see it as. And then when you think about it, you're like, oh shit, yeah, that probably isn't like a good thing to have in an anime, or like it just didn't.
But my issue, it's not even that like you can't have something like that, but like to me, the tragedy is that like Naofumi doesn't trust Raftalia. That is what that scene proves.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, even though she
trusts him.
Yeah,
but he doesn't trust her. And
I think he does trust her, but she wanted it, right? So in his eyes, he's like, all right, well, whatever.
She wants it because he won't trust her without it. That's the thing. He can't trust anyone that he can't directly control. That's his thing because of what Mai did to him. And to me, that would have been an amazing moment for character development for Naofumi to realize that he doesn't need this direct control over her to trust her, that it's okay and not every woman is Mai, and Raftalia is like a good girl and a cute little raccoon person who's loyal and his sword, and that would have been great and wholesome, but that's not what we got. And then he adds more people to the harem and puts slave crests on them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so I'm excited to see how it goes even worse because I hate Philo. I've always hated Philo because
it's hard not to.
She's the typical lolly bait character, and it's so fucking annoying. I'm curious to see how their new friends betray them, unless they already did. I can't remember. I can't remember if they already did or not. But it's like the most obvious thing ever that they're eventually maybe not betray them, but just gonna like go about their own
in some way,
let them down, or show their own self-interest. Which, to be fair, I think a lot of characters get shit on in anime for being selfish, and it's like, listen, we love ideals, but you gotta protect yourself first, right? Like, I don't know that I'm not gonna die on this hill with this anime though. Like, I'll die on that hill for fucking Rachel in Tower of God or something like that instead. Whenever we eventually get a second season of that, I don't know. I'm gonna watch every episode. I'm gonna enjoy it, and my friends who watch anime that are a little bit more mainstream or not as into seasonals will be watching it too. So that's another nice thing about it. It does have some mainstream appeal.
It is massively popular.
It's massively popular enough to have a third season ready, and I can't wait for that third season because apparently it's going to be dog shit, according to Miles, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't know the timings perfectly, and it actually I thought each season was going to be 2 core, but the season 2 and season 3 are 1 core.
Correct.
So I'm not quite sure if we'll get there. If we don't, I'll tell you guys what happens.
Yeah, please.
I already know what happens.
I don't, okay. So I can't wait to find out. Cause I'm gonna wait though. I am gonna wait.
No, I will tell you until they stop making seasons of the show.
Yeah. So what's very interesting is that this also has 2 studios tied to it. However, one of them, DR Movie, has 5 shows since 1997. One of them being this show, and it's not really I think it's like one of those branch studios that gets credit when Kinema Citrus Co. decides to give them credit, which they've worked on Made in Abyss. They've done obviously the first season of Shield Hero as well. Rakamon. They did Review Starlight. What the fuck? I didn't even know that. That's very interesting too. So I know that this is a good studio. It's or you think it is at least.
Yeah, they're I'd say they're a solid studio.
They've got their hits, and again, I expect to enjoy this show, but I also I don't know. I literally just while we were talking about it, it just occurred to me. I was like, man, I wonder what my mouse score is for Rising the Shield Hero. It was a 7. I was like, well, shit, I should probably put it like a 6 because like it realistically, it's not that good. Like it really,
The
it is
quality does drop
problematic,
off.
and
Like,
it did drop off.
yeah.
I didn't find the fight to be that bad, but it wasn't
Oh,
great
It
either.
is one of the most static fights I have
It's
ever
very
seen.
static.
Yeah.
That's true. It is very static. But I thought the scenes of actual motion were pretty cool. But yeah, either
yeah.
way,
Unfortunately, those motions took 2 episodes to conclude a fight.
yeah, it was pretty long. I remember watching that while it was airing and being like, "What the fuck is taking so long?"
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So that's Shield Hero. I think we're. Did everyone talk? I think we
Yeah, I
did.
think we did. Yep. So
Yeah,
Shield
that's join our conversations in our Discord for
on
that because we will be
Wednesdays,
talking about that every day it airs on the day
every
during our
Wednesday.
lunch
Yep.
breaks. Absolutely.
That's Rising of the Shield Hero. And last for I guess our group discussion for sequels, we're gonna talk about something that we all agree on, which is just at minimum just pure joy, and that's Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 3. I have all the volumes behind me. It just actually recently left my top 10, but I have a feeling that after Season 3, I'm probably gonna jump right back into it. It's my number 2 manga of all time. I think that this story is just absolutely incredible. Ishigami is one of my favorite anime characters of all time. I'm thoroughly invested in him, and I know what already happens in this season, and I can't wait. It's gonna be a great time. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Love is War Season 3?
I am so excited. I love Love is War. To me, it does like the best job of just like encapsulating that feeling of like having like a high school crush or something, and just like all of the planning and stuff you put into that. I've learned recently that maybe not everyone did that, and that perhaps my OCD played something into that. But I mean, I used to like not to the the level that these people do their machinations to try to get each other to like one another, but God, I really it feels in there, and I like how they like handle things like maturely, like the subject matter and stuff. And this season is going to be an absolute banger of a season. Um, so I am excited. There are a few scenes that I can't wait to see animated, because while the manga is amazing, the directorial team for the series has so much fun when they do things. From season 2, the scene of Chika trying the ramen was brought to life so well. And they always throw in, a little like Evangelion or Monogatari references, which are fun. When they had the Chika talking to Shirogane, and like she was doing like the pen thing, like Totsuba from Monogatari, but then it completely goes off the rails because he just makes fun of her. It's very funny. The show is fantastic. The manga is fantastic, and the anime is even better in a lot of ways. So the only thing holding the anime back is that less of it is adapted. Um, so I'm really excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Pat, bring us a little bit down to earth.
I love this show. I just want it to end in that. I want to see the finale. That's what it is. Like again, I could watch this forever and enjoy it. I really like Ishigami as well. I thought his arc kind of wouldn't have been better if the girl got redemption. Personally,
I
like
love that she did it.
or see, I would have liked that. Because it would have been like, oh, she wasn't this awful person that was just manipulating him. It was more that she was like pressured into it, and
Well,
she
she didn't
reflected upon it or whatever.
manipulate him. She was never in the light about what was happening.
Right, right. That's what that. Well, that's so. There you go. That's what it was, and I would have liked for her to have been like, "Oh shit, um, like I feel bad now. Let me go apologize to him," rather than just being like, whatever."
Well,
That's
she
kind
never
of like
learned, and that was sort of the
I
point, that
thought that.
he didn't need her to anymore. He was over it.
Mm, that's
Um,
maybe I'm.
because
Yeah,
he knew that she would feel bad about it, and he didn't think there was a point in that anymore, because he would. It might be clear in the manga. I don't remember the differentiations between the two. Um, but that was that subplot, right? Like he
yeah.
he was able to get over that, past that, find friends, and he didn't feel the need anymore to let her know that he was actually in the right. So
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Again, I enjoyed it. I hated the ending of it. That's the thing. I loved season 2. Like I really had a good time with it, but I hated because like but the thing was every skit that had happened up to that point had been based in reality in some way, right? And like it wasn't like it was overly dramatic, but it wasn't like
the school
the
exploded.
school exploding. Like I was like, what the fuck is that? Like
It's
why?
like the end of Grease.
You're dating yourself there with that one, for me
Well,
at least. But I
older
don't
than
know.
me. I just happen to see it.
I know, I know. But that either way, that's just my point. Like I didn't like that scene, and so it threw me off a little bit. I was like, what? Like why? What's the point of that? Especially if there's gonna be another season, which of course there was announced at that time. So again, I'll watch it. I'll enjoy it. Chica's great. The whole show, the whole cast is really really great. I just don't. It's not like my top favorite ever show like it is for pretty much both of you guys.
Yeah.
Like I really do enjoy it though. A1 Pictures, by the way, as well. Can't go wrong when A1 Pictures is doing a show. Especially lately, they've been killing it. So yeah.
I'm really excited that the people who did the OP of season 1 and 2 are doing season 3 as well.
yeah.
So that's great. I've already listened to the song. It's no surprise, a banger.
Oh, it's out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did like a live performance of it. It was really it was really good. I do think that they're probably going to fully adapt this manga, so I'm looking forward to that. So we probably have 2 more seasons after this, I would say. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting, especially the manga's on its last arc right now. So looking forward to seeing hopefully 2 more seasons of Kaguya. It's one of my favorites rom-coms of all time. I just think the writing is genius. Ishigami is one of my favorite characters. And yeah, do you guys have anything else you want to say before we go into like our speed round of what else we're watching? All right, cool. All right, so Kaguya airs on Fridays on Crunchyroll. So,
Pete, do you want to let Miles and I go first since you probably have a lot more?
Yeah, go for it, boys. So speed round.
Miles, what have you got? Speed round. Anything else that you're watching this season?
Nope, we're done. What else are you watching?
All right, I'll highlight 2 shows that caught my eye that weren't movies because I know Pete will get to them. First is Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. That show felt like it when I was watching it live, 7 out of 10. Thought it ended at a point, and I was like, all right, this is never getting a second season. Don't need to. It didn't feel like it needed one either. It got a second season, so Here we are. I'll enjoy watching it week to week. It's cute enough that I'll like it and had a really good time. Maybe they'll give some of the secondary characters some more development. I'll really enjoy it. It's like Kaguya, but slightly less fun and interesting and deep. It's more surface level, but it's fun. It's a fun show. And then the only other show that really caught my eye was The Dawn of the Witch, just because the name of the name is The Dawn of the Witch.
Of course.
And you know me, I gotta have my my witch show. Probably not gonna watch it or even give it a shot because I don't know, the more interestingly designed witch looks to be the villain of the show and not the main one. Seems to be like a lolly looking at or lolly-esque kind of girl. So I don't know, not very interested in that. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I doubt it. But yeah, Dawn of the Witch. Check that out if you like lolly witches. Or,
yeah, someone snipped that. Someone snipped that.
Hey, that's advice. That's not me. That is not an endorsement. That is just a. I don't know what that is. Not endorsement.
She doesn't look that lolly, though.
Not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not like horrifically lolly, but
it's not like that basketball show.
No. It's not that bad, but it's also still like, all right, she's meant to look like a child, or young, and I don't like. Yeah, not interested in that. But yeah, Pete, what have you got?
All right, yeah.
So I'm sure it's a short list.
I have 28, including movies on my plan to watch. I think the biggest one that we missed, Komi-san season 2, Best Girl Rumiko shows up. Can't wait for that. Trapped in a Dating Sim, just because of the title, sounds fun. I'll also be watching Science Fell in Love season 2. Also, we'll be watching The Demon Girl Next Door second season, which was a absolute blast the first season. There's the next project that the guy who did Takagi-san his project is airing. Love All Play, which is the boys badminton done by OLM. Looking forward to that as well. And a lot of just like everything else is kind of just like in the lower of Mal, where it's not super popular, so nobody needs to really hear about it. But in terms of movies, looking forward to Bubble. We're actually gonna be doing an episode on that. That airs on Netflix in April, so looking forward to that. Be interesting to see when we get the Quince movie and the Isekai Quartet movie, since those are both airing in Japan this season. I'm assuming we'll probably get, I don't know if we're going to get either in theaters. It'll be interesting if we get Quince. I think it might be big enough to get a theater release for like a day, but we'll play and see. The Odd Taxi movie, absolutely looking forward to that, and the Takagi-san movie. Oh, and me and Miles are super jacked about this. The Science Saru movie, Inu-U, I believe it's pronounced.
Yes.
Looking forward to that as well. So a lot of like movies that I'm not looking forward to as much. Usually there's like 1 or 2 a season. I think I have like 5 this season, but they're airing this season in Japan, which means we're going to get this who knows when. So I'm just hoping that we get some of the bigger releases in theaters for even like a day would be great. But we'll play it by ear and we'll see. And believe me, if Quince gets a movie or if Isekai Quartets gets a movie in theaters here, probably we'll be doing an episode. So look out for that. Gentlemen, I believe we have reached our conclusion of the winter preview. I am really excited. I don't know if before I thought this was going to be the best season of anime of all time. Now I'm kind of leaning that this is going to be the most popular season of anime. I think there's going to be a lot of shows people are watching. It'll be interesting to see how the quality is. So I want to say thank you, boys, for joining me. The audience, if you want to support the podcast, the best way to do so is like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on whatever platform you are listening or watching us on. If you're watching us on YouTube and you don't want to see our beautiful faces, we have audio only formats. If you're listening to us on a audio only format and you want to see our beautiful faces, we have a YouTube. Links in the link tree in the description below. Next week is Watch Club, and it's our April Fool's episode. We will be watching the first Twilight movie. I cannot wait. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to discuss the Mormon religion and vampires. So looking forward to that. And then 2 weeks, talking seasonal still. We'll be doing the review of the wrapping up fall season right now. So, winter. So look forward to that in 2 weeks. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And everybody else, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.